It's important to clarify that the reception of Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter album among white Americans is not monolithic, and many have embraced it. The album received widespread critical acclaim and was a commercial success, debuting at #1 on the Billboard 200 and becoming the first album by a black woman to top the top country albums chart. It has also been credited with increasing country music's listenership and driving cultural conversations about black musicians' place in the genre. However, there has also been some backlash and gatekeeping from certain segments of the country music audience and industry. This resistance often stems from a historical and deeply entrenched whitewashing of country music, despite its undeniable black roots. Here's a breakdown of the points you raised. 1. Rejection of Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter album. While the album was widely praised, some individuals and groups within the country music sphere expressed skepticism or outright rejection. This often manifested as questioning Beyoncé's authenticity as a country artist, despite her Texas roots and the album's deep engagement with country music history and themes. Some of this resistance has been attributed to racial bias and a long-standing gatekeeping mentality within the genre that has historically marginalized black artists. 2. Country music's origins in Black American music. You are absolutely correct. Country music, like many other American genres, has significant roots in Black American musical traditions. The banjo, a quintessential country instrument, is a direct descendant of West African instruments brought to the Americas by enslaved people. Blues, spirituals, and folk songs. Early country music drew heavily from African American blues, spirituals, and folk songs. Black musicians were instrumental in developing the sounds and styles that formed the bedrock of country music. Influence on early pioneers. Black musicians like Leslie Riddle and Arnold Schultz directly influenced prominent white country artists, including the Carter family and Bill Monroe, father of bluegrass. Historical erasure. Despite these foundational contributions, the commercialization of country music in the 20th century largely segregated the genre, pushing black artists into race records and effectively erasing their historical role. This created a narrative that falsely portrayed country music as an exclusively white creation. 3. Obsession with country music because black Americans don't listen to typical country music. This statement touches on a complex issue of cultural ownership and the demographics of music consumption. Demographics. Historically, the perception and marketing of country music have been heavily geared towards a white audience, particularly in the southern and midwestern United States. This has contributed to a demographic reality where country music listeners have been predominantly white. Challenging the narrative. Artists like Beyoncé, Lil Nas X, and others are challenging this established narrative and the perception of who belongs in country music. Their success highlights that there's a diverse audience for country music, and that the genre's history is far more inclusive than it has often been presented. Typical country music. The idea of typical country music itself is a construct that has evolved over time. The genre has always absorbed influences, and the notion of a rigid, unchanging country sound often serves to exclude artists who don't fit a particular, often racially coded, mold. In essence, the resistance to Cowboy Carter from some white Americans can be seen as a manifestation of a long-standing struggle over the identity and ownership of country music. It highlights the ongoing need to acknowledge and celebrate the rich and diverse origins of American musical forms, particularly the foundational contributions of Black Americans that have often been overlooked or intentionally suppressed.